I wanted to make this video to tell you all who have come from places, traveled long distances to be here for me on my very big day. It's the biggest day in my life, bigger than graduating with a PhD degree, because it is my dream come true. I dreamt about doing my solo debut, my Arangetram in Bharatanatyam, as a 13-year-old kid. And that dream was not fulfilled then because of XYZ reasons. And I moved away from dance to pursue an academic life. And something shifted when I joined the PhD program. My dear friend Mamta, she found a dance teacher in LA and she just dragged me to dance class. I didn't have the money, neither did I have the time. Being a PhD student in biological sciences consumes you completely. She was really generous. She offered to pay my fees and stuff like that, and she dragged me to a dance class. By God's blessing, it was an adult ladies dance class. And the first class that I took was with Maithili Prakash. That first class reignited this dream that I had since I was 13. And there were a lot of synchronous events that led up to it. I never thought I'll ever do my Arangetram ever again, although I had this dream. Just because as an adult it seems like an impossible dream. You have so many other priorities. You have to make a living. You have goals in life. You're building structures. Life just takes over. So why would one pursue arts when their plate is already full? I asked myself this question a million times, and I don't know if I have the answer yet, but I knew after my very first class that I had to keep going back to dance class. Wednesday nights were the most important nights in the week for me. I would feel caged with responsibilities and running experiments and everything else. And I would find my liberation and my salvation in that Wednesday night class when Vijayanti would tattafy for us and scream and yell at us, yet we are dancing and having a spiritual experience, because your body moves but your mind experiences stillness. Vijayanti has created this amazing community of women, not just women, but men too, who come to her dance class because of her. She's like the sun whose gravitational pull pulls all these people in. But what is the biggest gift is that I have never seen women like this ever in my life, who are extremely strong, and what I mean is not in a corporate sense, a cutthroat sense, but strong as in their personality. They can get things done. They can run companies like Madhu and Juhi and Anu, but they can also empower other women. This community of people who take care of each other and who empower each other, and to find that quality in a female in these times in the world is a rare thing and is a gift. It's a gift to be surrounded and showered with love with these amazing women all the time. It's a gift. It's a gift. You cannot find it anywhere in the world, and no money can buy it, for which I'm so grateful to Vijayanti for her to create a community like this. I'm so grateful to her. So when it was my turn, and when Vijayanti offered me, she's really generous, she offered me to do this Arangetram, there was a lot of fear that came with excitement, because it was my childhood dream that was coming true, but I just didn't know how I'm going to do it. It's not the same as most girls in the world who do their Arangetram. Most of them are in their teenage years. A lot of things are taken care of for them. But I had to even figure out, how do I pay for a class if I have to take a class for my Arangetram? And is it worth it? Is it worth going through that trouble? And every single time I was at a lowest point, asking myself this question, whether I should do it, whether I should not do it, the answer was always yes. The answer was yes, not because dance gives me joy. Joy is like a very weak word. It touches my soul. It really nourishes me. It's not just my body that dances. It's also my every single cell in my body. It's my soul, it's my spirit, everything dances. I love coming to class. And I love when Vijay Auntie teaches the class. There is something special about it, like a divine transmission. And the girls in my class, I love dancing with all these adult girls who have been through so much in life, yet they choose to come and spend that Wednesday night with Vijay Auntie in a class, scrambling to get through movements, scrambling to sit down and get up in the very next minute. But still their spirit of dance is alive. Irina has been one such friend, Mamta. There has been Anu in class, who's like completely inspirational. Why wouldn't one go to class when Anu is there, who has fought life and stood there strong? Ambujam Auntie, K Auntie. And yes, the young kids are also an inspiration because of the way their body moves. It flexes, it stretches, and it moves so fast to rhythm. That is also very inspirational. But it also brings up a lot of my own body issue images. I was always a fat kid, so to say, a plump kid. And whenever I danced, I would carry that with me. The feeling of not being good enough, the feeling of not being slim and slender enough, the feeling of not being agile enough. And it was also a journey. This past 5-6 years have also been a journey of accepting and loving my body in every which way and form, whether it's bruised, whether it is sick, it can't move, whether it is just lethargic, whether it is tired. Loving my body and appreciating it for what it can do for me. It can dance for me. It can give me an experience that no drug in the world can give me. Like, dance is my dope. And I tell that to Vijay Auntie all the time. So, as an adult, to do something like this, a solo performance, putting myself up on stage, making all the arrangements, is not to show off that I can dance, or it's not to prove to anybody that I have another achievement, but it is to share my passion. It's to share the joy. It's to share the spiritual experiences I've had, the aha moments, like once when Janani was teaching me the Sudama Sahityam that I did in my Varnam. That Sahityam completely resonated with me because I have a lot of self-negation, and how dance gives language to my deepest, innermost fears, my bright side and my dark side. It highlights my dark side too, which is a tough thing to be doing while you are on stage, vulnerable in front of people. It's a very vulnerable experience. you feel naked, your insides are turned out, and it takes everything from you, and that's how it makes you present. When you're dancing, you cannot have a single other thought. If you have that thought, you will miss the next beat. So in essence, dancing is a very spiritual experience. You can be absolutely present while there is so many movements going around. And then I always thought of this day as a journey, which culminates with this solo dance performance. And Vijay auntie will always say it's not the ending, it's the beginning. And it got me thinking, because if you look around in the universe, everything dances. The planets dance around the sun, the leaves dance in the breeze, the ocean waves dance while they hit the shore. And if you look around, every single thing in this universe dances. There is music because there is dance, and there is no beginning or end. There is just a continuous flow, and what you guys see today is just a snapshot in this universal cosmic flow, a snapshot in space and time. That's why it has a beginning or end, but there is really no beginning and no end. I think I danced in my mom's womb. I danced when I learned how to walk. I dance as an adult, and I'll dance till I die in one way or the other. I'm just lucky to have a guru like Vijay auntie, who has presented me on this platform so that I get an opportunity to show how I dance, how Malini dances. I've had glimpses of my spiritual self when I'm tripping in one of Hari Jivan's long gong meditations and one of his Akashic record meditations. And I've seen my spiritual self a few times. She's this beautiful girl with long wavy hair in a white dress somewhere in some forest. But I've always seen her dancing. And that's how I know I will always dance. Through this process of Arangetram, I learned many lessons, and I'm still learning them. Many life lessons. The very first one being surrender. And I say surrender because when you are in a teacher-student relationship, a guru-student relationship, one has to learn how to surrender to your guru. As a thinking mind, as a cerebral person, constantly your thoughts come in the way, right? I do this better, or I don't understand the correction, or my body can't do it. I just cannot do it. This is impossible. All those thoughts came in, and every single time I had to choose to surrender to my teacher. And I'm tested on it every single day. Every single class with her is a new surrender, new level of surrender. This whole Arangetram was possible only because of Vijay auntie. She took care of so many things for me. I was literally freaking out at some point. And she paved the way for me to learn how to surrender, not only to her but to universal forces. And as I started to surrender, things started to fall in place. People started to come into my life and help me, offer help and help me in littlest possible ways. So surrender was the first lesson. It's not an easy one. It never is. The second one was courage. And by definition, I'm a very courageous person. I consider myself to be very brave. But then your bravery is tested when your fears come up. And all my fears came up. in the past 6 months. Every single one of them was highlighted and expanded. And my teacher, Anand Mehrotra, says, and I have to remind myself all the time, that it's too much to ask to not be afraid. But all that is asked from you is to have the courage to move beyond your fears. So my bravery was tested, because sometimes I would be so crippled with fear that my feet wouldn't move and I couldn't practice. And I had to find the strength and the courage within me, deep within me, to move through it. The third lesson was to receive, the ability to receive. Our society teaches us to be such independent individuals that most of us have lost the ability to receive. Receive a smile, receive a compliment, receive a loving word, receive help, receive corrections from Vijay auntie, receive blessings, receive fears, receive competition. Just receive. And more good than bad. A lot of times good. As soon as I open myself up to receive, people like Divya Kumar offered to come and help me for my rehearsal. Krish offered to come and help me drive the musicians around. I had so many people texting me whether I needed any help, and they would show up at the front lobby and get the place ready for me while I'm putting my makeup and hair on. So receive was a very big lesson, how to receive blessings and how to receive love, because giving comes very naturally to us as humans. It's easy to give, but when it's time to receive, a lot of people like me who have self-negation and hyper-criticism built in them, it's harder to receive. So these were my 3 big lessons. The fourth one was everything works out for good and people love you. People by nature are good, and if you show up as your truest, honest self, even in your despair, even in your frustration, even in your sadness, even in your anger, they love you because you have the courage to show up as your honest self. No, my boss.
Yeah. How do you feel?
So when you heard your
Hi. How do you feel?
She feels good. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go eat, fool. Yeah.
I have very few blood relatives here, very few kins, but it's also endearing to see how much love was poured onto me and how people came together and not only made arrangements for the show, but literally propped me up and helped me get through the process. One of my emotional dump and my shrink, there are 2 people. One is Irina, the second one is Zainab. They have pulled me through in my lowest, when I feel the worst about myself as a dancer. There are people who came from nowhere and offered help. Juhi is one of them. Anu is one of them. So many of them. I can't even name them. Neha, Uma auntie, Rishi, Rohit, RS Mama, Renu auntie. I'm not sure if my brother is going to make it for the show, and I miss him a lot. And I miss my dad a lot. But I think I think they're working through all these people to really help me evolve and experience an art form at such a deep level. I've had many spiritual guides who have shown me the path. Mahesha is one of them. He's one of my spiritual guides. There is Diane Opal, Anand Mehrotra, Sadhguru, Hari Jeevan. Every single time I have a block, they show me the way. My own boss, Dr. Bergman, has been so supportive of me dancing. I cannot thank him enough. But above all, I think it's Vijayanti. I don't know what she saw in me, but I know when she looks at me, she really wants me to dance. Not just my body, but she wants every part of my being to dance. And I'm grateful to her. I'm really grateful to her. And what you see today is just a glimpse of that process. Thank you.